All right. Welcome to the Truth is Real podcast. This is your host, Vedo, and I have one of my co-hosts.
Man, it's just John, man.
Just
It's been
John.
a little minute, dog.
It's been a long time, been a few months. He's been busy. And we have a lovely back again. I'll let her say her name.
The original Barbie doll.
The original Barbie doll. Y'all seen her plenty of times, so she came to bless us with her appearance today on this lovely Sunday. Before we get into the summertime, I think summer's around the corner. And when's summer? Summer's what, June something? Does anybody know when summer starts?
You said what?
Summer. You know when summer starts?
Summer? Nah, I don't know when it starts.
The summer starts when I gotta start taking 5 showers a day and putting 10 coats of deodorant on.
That's coming up soon then, because the weather, it's starting to get hot. Well, we have a special episode. I guess this is going to be up close and personal. We're going to switch it to up close and personal stuff, you know what I mean? Because someone didn't show up. We're not going to say any names, but, we love her like always, but, she's special for us. She's very special, but she put us in a position where now we had to change the show around. And I think this show might be interesting. We have two people on here that you might not know of, but you might know of. Right?
If they know, they know.
If they know. If you follow Instagram, if you follow Barbie's Instagram, you probably know a whole lot. So you might know more than you should know. I mean, recently, if you follow John's Instagram, you might know a little something too. But I mean, I guess we can talk about it since it's on the internet. We ain't gotta be too quiet no more, right?
Nah,
Do we? It's out there. Barbie looking all nervous. She's usually speaking so much and feeling so confident now. It just seems like she got real nervous. But
Because Vito, your questions make me nervous.
they should never make you nervous because it's all about the truth. The truth should never make you nervous. But
Set me up.
but the question around town, when people watch social media, they have a lot of questions, right? And I think that we should dig into some of those questions and just make sure everybody knows what is and what is not. You know what I'm saying? So there's no confusion. You know what I mean? Don't you think that's always good? So people aren't assuming anything. There aren't any assumptions. And that, when people see things, they know, right? So I just think that, since you are very popular out here, right? What's the Instagram name? What's the Instagram name? The Barbie. Did you change it? You changed it a couple times. What's the Instagram name? What is your Instagram name?
The original Barbie doll.
The original. Okay, the original Barbie. Yeah.
It's never changed.
She said it never changed. Are you sure it never changed? Okay. I thought it was something else before.
It's always
All
been
right.
the original Barbie doll.
Speak a little bit louder because you don't got your own mic. You usually have your own mic and you like to yell.
It's always been the original Barbie doll.
All right, so the original Barbie doll, she's a socialite. I'm gonna say you're a socialite. Can we say that? Because your TikTok, your Snap, all that be going up, right? Instagram.
Well, I kind of slow down on social media per se because, it has been affecting my mental health. I needed a break, and as well as I want to focus on my relationship.
Oh, relationship. Okay, so when we speaking about relationships, you're in a relationship?
I am.
You are in a relationship. Oh, that's interesting. How long has this been?
Officially on May 21st.
Officially. Okay, when you say officially on May 21st, what do you mean by that? Officially on May 21st.
We've been in a relationship.
Okay, then you said we. Who's we though?
Me and John.
Oh.
Nah, I don't know about John.
So you trying to say what? It started on the 21st. It was our anniversary on the 21st. Or what do we mean? What's the 21st?
So the 21st, give me this. The 21st was actually the anniversary of the day we met, the pool party you invited me to.
So that was last year.
That was last
Okay.
year. So that was just the anniversary.
So this is the anniversary
of the day
21st.
that we met,
Okay.
and he took that special day to ask me officially to be his girlfriend. Even though we've,
Let's do a little.
been
Let's
exclusive
get a hand
for a
clap for that.
while.
Let's give her May 21st. That was just a week ago, right? About a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, more like 2 weeks ago. But yeah, I mean, even though we've been exclusive for a while, it's official.
It's official.
Officially, I could say, "Oh, that's my boyfriend," or "I have a boyfriend," not just when I'm getting harassed in public.
Okay. All right. So what made you feel like now was the time to kind of put it out there in the open and let everybody know.
I mean, if you're not ashamed or embarrassed and you don't care about what other people, ruining your chances with being them, or you're not thinking about other people, you don't have
Right.
other people, then it shouldn't matter.
All right. So you just saying like you love who you love, you want to be who you want to be with, and
Yeah,
who
I love
cares what
very
everybody
loudly.
thinks? Right.
I'm never
Oh, we
ashamed
know.
of
We
who I
definitely
love.
know. We know. We know.
If I love
Okay.
you, I want the whole world to know I love you because I know I want the same thing.
Right.
I'm
Mark your
never, yeah.
territory. Right.
Well, not
It's like-
territory, but I know what I want, so I know what I'm gonna reciprocate.
right. So what you feel about that, John? Open it up to the world. As a man, it's different. Women
Um,
like to put stuff out there. So men, we kind of like to be quiet.
yeah, we
And
like to be
we don't like all that
keep it close to
attention.
our chest type shit, but I don't know. I feel like we did the dating thing. We got to know each other. Everybody pretty much already knew about us.
Right.
They didn't know
Your
if it
close
was
circle,
Yeah,
because not
like-
everybody. Some people question. They don't,
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's keep it real. People go out with females all day long, and
Right.
it don't have to be that serious. It could just be
exactly.
a thing.
And
You know
people
what I mean?
didn't know if we was locked in or not, and this and that. But people had their own suspicions and stuff. But yeah, we just made it official. It wasn't about nobody else knowing, and not to me at least. It was just more so about the day. It
Right.
was a special day, so.
I always call y'all my experiment, and the reason why I call y'all my experiment is because I always wanted to know what was going to happen. You know what I mean? I always want. This was a good Truth is Real experiment that started a year ago, and I wanted to see how it would work out. So it was good now to reflect a year later and kind of see, the good and the bad in it. You know what I mean? It's nothing's perfect. You know what I mean? No relationship's perfect. But it's just about can you get through it and how you handle it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna ask the question. So, because everybody knows you are in the entertainment world. You don't. People know that, right? You in the entertainment world,
Yeah.
right? So I guess asking John, he's not really. I mean, it's different considered entertainment. You know what I mean? So as dating a woman in the entertainment world, how is it for the men out here that are looking to do that or dating in the same situation? What kind of advice would you give them?
Well, shit. Honestly, it's it's hard. It's not like it's simple, but you just can't really, be too insecure. You gotta kind of just know who you are, know how you stand. But it's up to it's up to the female as well. Like you gotta make your man feel insecure. You can't have him second guessing and overthinking and shit like that too. That plays a
Right.
big part too. It's not just. I feel like it's who you are as a person, but it's also how your girl make you feel. How she, makes you feel more secure within the relationship.
Right. Okay. So, do you feel like, I guess, what were your main objectives or main obstacles in pursuing a relationship with a woman who is in the entertainment industry?
Shit. Honestly, just the lifestyle. Everybody that's a part of the nightlife, entertainment industry type of lifestyle knows what come with that shit. So to separate, a person from the lifestyle, that was the most difficult part. More so like believing certain things she tell me and
Right.
not having a jaded opinion about how she lives and stuff like. Because we come across women in the lifestyle all the time and we kind of just bunch them all together.
Right.
But I guess they could be different in certain areas and stuff like that. So
you had to really get to learn who she was as a person
As
and
a
separate
person.
that from
from
the
what she
job
does
was.
at work and stuff.
Right.
And also like relationships and stuff is about compromise as well. So it's not like when I first met her, she was like working every night, stuff like that. She kind of slowed down as well. She kind of
Right.
sacrificed too. So
Yeah, so that was really just really understanding who the person was and trying to get past everything else. But in that, I guess as you're going through that, y'all have conversations and y'all talk about those things, right? You know what I mean? And I guess
talking,
you talk about
going through experiences.
what the plans are, what the future is, and ultimately, what y'all goals are, right? You know what I mean? So I guess I'm gonna ask Barbie on your end. You know what I'm saying? Dating a man that he's in the club, he's out there. You know what I'm saying? Enjoying himself, and when you met him, he was single. He wasn't innocent. You know what I mean? How was it adjusting to that, and maybe him utilizing the world that you live in as something against you every time. You know what I mean? In the beginning stages is when you wanted to say with your piece, that was always something that a man could utilize to kind of hush you up real quick. How did you deal with that?
I would say they're kind of like what he said when it comes to dating a man that's in the nightlife. You know, I haven't necessarily dated men in the nightlife per
Right.
se,
Okay.
especially like they were out as much as he was, and it's never an issue
Right.
because I mean I understand it, and I can separate business from personal life as well. So I know like, all right, this is just business, and then when you start bringing that into there, you start making friendships within that nightlife. You
Right.
crossing boundaries and stuff, and it's also about how that person treats you in that nightlife as well.
Right.
So if you invite me to come to the club with you, and I do, and you start acting differently towards
Right.
me than you do indoors,
You're gonna feel some type of way.
I'm gonna notice like, okay, this is like you want to keep this certain image, but
Right.
in reality, I feel like it shouldn't matter, like, because you are there for work.
Right. Understood. So it's a question to both of you guys. Is it hard or was it hard to trust in the beginning?
Not for me, no.
You trying to say it was no?
No, no, no,
Are
no.
you really saying that now?
Okay, I
Because
don't
you
wanna.
remember, I'm around.
No,
So
no, no. I
okay,
know,
y'all
I
talking to
know.
a stranger right now.
I'm
In the
aware.
beginning stages, was it hard to trust?
I whenever I meet anybody, I don't punish them for the last person's mistakes for what they do to me. Everything is fresh.
Okay.
So the last person can cheat, lie, crazy to me. You are a new person. I'm gonna treat you as such.
Right.
And if in a new relationship, the only way I'm not gonna trust you is if you continuously lie to me, and that's it.
Right.
So-
So
When it comes to me, I say hell yeah, because I'm not punishing you per se for the last person, even though that I feel like that molds us as we grow and stuff. But it's more so the lifestyle we was in. I just know certain things that happen behind the scenes and shit like that. Like, so it was
So
just
it
hard
takes
to trust.
time. It takes
Yeah.
time. I mean, y'all didn't meet each other and say I trust each other. I mean, no matter if you came from a bad relationship or a good relationship, when you meet somebody, you're still gonna fill them out.
Yeah,
You're gonna still
I
them
trusted him in the
yeah.
beginning to tell me the truth. That's
To a certain degree, though, right?
for the most part, I pretty much did. Like in the beginning of our relationship, or when we just first started talking, I was like, oh, like, have you slept with anybody? Da, 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 da.
But in
And then
that
he would
point
be
in
very
time,
honest with me,
but at
and
that
I
point in
respected
time,
that.
it's not as serious, so it's a little bit easier to be open in the beginning. You know what I mean? When you just
Yeah.
first meet somebody, it's easy to be like, yeah, I talk to somebody, But as you gradually get deeper into the
You don't
emotions
want to
and
hurt that person's
feelings,
feelings.
those
Yeah.
that openly line of communication starts to be a little bit pushed back a little bit.
Yeah,
You know what
we
I mean?
had that talk before. Like, just honest with me. Like, I respect you more, and you're not really gonna like. It stings a little bit. Like, no one
Right.
wants to hear that. Oh, I did this or whatever. Like, no one wants to hear that. But
Right.
I'm gonna respect you more, and I'm gonna trust you. At least if you make a mistake, I'll trust you that you'll tell me before I find out.
Right.
So it's like, okay, if you do this or you do that, like, it will hurt worse. It hurts worse finding out rather
Right.
than knowing that person kept that from you for a certain amount of time, rather than like
Right.
telling you straight up.
Now, my question, before you guys met each other, both of you guys were outgoing people, I would say, right? Y'all
We were
both were
what?
outgoing people
Oh,
in a certain way. I mean, you guys,
in our own ways.
yeah, in your own ways,
Yeah.
outgoing people, right? You know what I mean? Like y'all knew people. It wasn't like y'all were in a box, didn't go nowhere, didn't see nobody, didn't have any friends,
Both
right?
outside.
Right. And y'all both had male and female friends, before y'all met each other, right? You know what I'm saying? So how did that work, with that dynamic of, everyone having their own world of friends and some of them are opposite sex, friends. How did you deal with it? How did you deal with it? You know what I'm saying? Or are you still dealing with it? Are you able to deal with it?
Let me go first. I feel like, man, honestly, like, if I'm being honest, in the beginning, I really didn't care. It didn't really matter to me 'cause I felt like I said, I didn't trust her as soon as I met her. So it took a little while for me to get into the mode of what's going on, actually. So I honestly didn't care. I felt like she was going to do her anyway and have her fun anyway. So I was doing the same in return. But I feel like as far as cutting friends off and stuff like that, when it came into play for me, was when I realized how serious she was. Like I realized how she was already making certain sacrifices and stuff that I wasn't even paying attention to in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I realized it, I guess I just had to do the same. I feel like that's what relationships is about. So, I've known females since high school. I've known
Right.
females since back in the day and stuff. But if there's a little history there, or we did a little fooling around, or she felt uncomfortable about it, you got to understand who you with, I guess, and you
Right.
decide if you're going to, put up with it or not, I guess, so to speak.
Is that a hard thing to do, to make that decision, or was it
Honestly, in the
simple?
beginning, if I'm being honest, I would say yeah, because you don't know what you sacrificing for.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't know how long it's gonna last. You don't know where it's gonna go. But once you jump in that water, shit, you better swim. Shit. So I'm in here now. Shit.
Swim, swim,
I'm
swim.
about to drown his ass.
I was drowned. So what about you? What do you feel? Was it hard to cut him off?
No, honestly, my whole life, like, I dealt with people like leaving me and abandoning me. So naturally, when I get close to people, I'd rather abandon you before you can abandon me, and I don't allow people to get too close.
Right. Right.
And especially when it comes to friends and stuff like that, like my last like really good friend that I met at the club, we got really close and stuff like that. I learned my lesson from that. It was a great experience, but I learned my lesson, and pretty much everybody else, they weren't actually friends. I
Right.
called them my friends. I was like, oh, that's my friend.
Associates.
But in reality, I knew they wasn't my friend.
Right.
They're not going to, stop whatever they're doing in the middle of the night to help me if I have a flat tire or cash at me some money because I need something to eat today. They're
Right.
not there for me. I know the ones that are, and John knows them well. And, we understand who's our friend and who's not, especially each other's partners. We can tell.
All right. I like that. I like that. So overall, it wasn't easy, but y'all overcame the obstacles in any relationship. No matter what the relationship is, it's never gonna be easy, right? And ultimately, y'all want to make it work, right? And that's what I guess matters the most. As long as you two people want to make it work, and no one says it's gonna be easy. You know what I mean? But I guess that it's good that y'all are trying. 'Cause a lot of people don't try, and hopefully y'all have to keep a positive outlook on things, you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
work on it. But it's going to be uphill battle sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But
And if you really want a relationship to work, like, do whatever you can to keep trying. Like, if
Right.
you feel like it's worth it or you love this person and you want it to work, like, do whatever it has to. Like, you sit down and have that conversation or go to
Right.
therapy.
Right.
Like, you don't have to be married to go to couples therapy.
No, you don't. No.
Like,
no.
do anything.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, but we're not going to talk too much about y'all lovely relationship. I don't want people out here to feel sad because there's a lot of lonely people out here
No,
looking,
we're very happy.
looking for
I'm
someone.
happy. Are you happy?
Yeah,
No, I don't want the other people to feel sad that don't have that. People don't have that. You know what I'm saying? People look for someone they can resonate with. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of lonely people out here, men and women. You know what I'm saying? That would love to be able to, even if it's not perfect, have someone have their back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't know what to expect from this relationship. I honestly didn't think I was gonna have a happy or healthy relationship while I was in the nightlife. If so, it'd probably like happen over time within the next years or
Right.
something. It's not like, oh, I'll find somebody new and yeah, I can find a nigga the next day, but that's for sex.
Right,
That's
right.
not someone who's gonna love me and
Not somebody you
accept me
really
for
know
who I am.
and
Yeah.
knows you, and somebody you really want to connect with.
And
The
wants to
connection is not
like,
easy.
build a life with me.
Right. Sex
start a
is
family,
one
yeah.
thing. Connection is not easy.
Exactly.
You definitely don't find that out here. Okay. All right, I got a question for both of you guys. This is off topic, but what's your feelings on this? Do you feel that the people that you help the most are a lot of times the ones that will turn on you the quickest? What's your feeling on that?
Honestly, I feel like I don't know how to answer that. I want to say yeah, I want to say yeah, but I feel like it's the people that you not just help the most, the people that are the closest to you, the people you love the most and stuff like that. But I feel like you kind of only zero in on it because they're people you care for. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's other
It hurts
people,
you more.
exactly.
It hurts you more.
Like I feel like there's other people that talk down on you and want to tear you down, but you don't really care because you don't care for them. You don't care about them.
Yeah, it hits you harder when it's someone you actually
That's
looked out
close
for
to
and you
you.
cared about.
Especially you let them, you let them in. They know your family. They know where
Right.
you live. Stuff like that kind of hits harder.
Right. Right. What's your feelings on that?
I agree with John about that, but also people will people are very manipulative and try to take advantage of people every day,
Right.
whether you're close to them or not. People take advantage of their family members just because they know they have money or they're better off or they have a kind heart.
Right.
Those people are just takers, they're leeches. You just got to be able to know how whether someone is a leech or not, because if someone is there to take, all you will hear come out their mouth is, can I have this, like,
Right.
will you do this for me? Or you start doing things for them, they're not doing nothing for in return that is actually adding value to your life. That's how you know that person's a leech.
Yeah, you ain't lying. You ain't lying about that. And there are a lot of leeches out here.
And I cut my family off as leeches
Yeah.
and
I mean,
friends.
they say that, a lot of family members are the ones that you sometimes have to worry about. Sometimes it's the blood that might be the one to take you down closer than the one that's not blood. You know what I mean? Because family does have a lot of envy and jealousness in them. You know what I mean?
Not only is that the case, I feel like people that's closest to you know what you got going on,
yeah,
so
they in your
know
business.
what you got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they see it more. So it
Exactly.
hurts them more, hits them more. You know what I mean? Like I said, like the day-to-day people around you, the ones seeing you making money, seeing you in relationships, happy. You know what I'm saying? Those are the ones that are looking at you
Misery
like,
love company.
yeah, those are the ones like, oh man, I ain't got no money, I ain't got nobody next to me. You know what I'm saying? That dude think he like that, he think he this, he think he that, and that's how a lot of stuff happens. I mean, a lot of envy kills people. You know what I mean? It's sad, but it's true. You know what I mean? But I always think that, you just got to be careful of who's in your surroundings at all times anyway. You know what I mean? People can change up on you so quick. And I was talking about that like on my on Instagram, how you can know somebody one day and then flick of a switch, they be a whole different person. You know what I mean? And you just be like, wow. And it amazes me how people can have, like, I call it split personalities. Depending on what mood you're in, you're a different person. And one thing people don't know is that you never know how someone's going to act until they're really going through something.
In that environment.
Yeah, like, say you're around somebody and all of a sudden they lose their job and they're about to get evicted. You know what I'm saying? That person that you trusted all your life could then steal from you. And you be like, wow, I've put you around so many things, brought you around my family, your kids, and so forth. But you never know when someone is in the last ends what they may do and how they may change. And I think that's when you really find out that person's a true friend.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? When someone's on the last end, they still stay solid. Think about someone on the last end, they still able to help you out. Someone don't even have it. Someone to give you their last dollar, they might not even be able to pay their rent. But they know that you've really been a good friend all your life, that they're willing to sacrifice their means to help you out. You know what I'm saying? That determines a whole lot in a person. You know what I mean? Because, that type of person you look at like, damn, well, how could you steal from me? If you're willing to give me your last, I'm more willing to trust you.
Right.
Not saying you have to do that, but when you look at that person completely different, you know what I
Right.
mean? Who's willing to give you the last. Like, you ever been in school, like even high school, and someone, doesn't have any money and you have a couple of dollars, that's all you have in your name, you give it to them. You know what I'm saying? Even though you might not be getting lunch that day, but that person ain't had lunch in 3 days. You know what I'm saying? You like, damn, you my friend. Everybody had friends in school that weren't always on the same income level. I had friends that had nothing. You know what I'm saying? They wore the same clothes every day. I didn't judge them. They still my friends. You know what I'm saying? I know that they probably aren't going to have a meal every day. You know what I'm saying? Or, a real meal. You know what I'm saying? So why not sacrifice my one meal to give you one meal you ain't going to have in 3 days? You know what I'm saying? But people don't think like that. As you get older, you open up into so much of this world of I don't give a.
Yeah, people get
selfish.
But that's because other people take advantage.
Yeah. I mean, it is true. It changes you. As you get older, you go through so many things in life that it does change who you are as a person.
He's like, man, fuck.
Yeah, because people will take advantage of it. It's people. I had a friend that always wanted you to pay for everything, but he had money. I'm not saying he was rich, but he had a job. You know, he was doing the same thing we were doing, but he never wanted to spend his
Talking about
money.
his pocket.
He never wanted to spend his money. I don't care what it was.
That's how
You know what I'm
rich people stay
saying?
rich.
He was like, "Oh, I forgot my check card. Oh, I forgot this. Oh, I forgot that." He'd be like, "Man, you got the same job. We work at the same job. We both ain't got
I
no
know how much your
kids."
paycheck is. I got the same
Yeah,
one.
like come on, man. But that you gotta watch out for people like that. He's still my man though. But yeah, so that that's an interesting topic that I wanted to talk about. There's another one too. What do you feel about people? Let me see. You ever had someone that you know that move differently when they're around certain people? Tell me about that. Give me a situation.
John, it's like
Ah, back to the relationship.
it's
See
like
what
that,
I'm
it's like that, it's
saying?
like that.
But really though, you know somebody that you're around when you one on one, it's all 100. Then all of a sudden they get around certain people, they acting funny.
Actually, yeah, it's a lot of the people that are I would say TV personality people.
Okay.
They're very much so like that. Or people such as myself who have main character syndrome.
Okay. Okay.
You know, they think like there's an imaginary camera watching. I genuinely, my whole life growing up, thinking
Right.
I was on a show or something. But yeah, those people are very unpredictable and stuff. And it doesn't mean they can't be real, but
Right.
they're real indoors with you when it's alone.
But is that real? If you change up depending on who's around, doesn't that make you think they could be talking about you? They could be 50-50 with you?
Nah, you're
I
not
mean,
real all the time. You're not real. Like you gotta, they call it keep it 100 all the time. That means
Yeah.
100% of the time. You can be, everyone's real some of the time.
Right.
Everyone's real some of the time. But nobody, like, there's very few people that are real 100% of the time. That they can, they'll stick up for you in front of the people they're trying to impress and
Right.
behind closed doors. Or even if you're not around.
Right. It's interesting. It's interesting. What do you think, John? People changing up. That certain people come around, they act like a whole other person around you. What's your
Yeah,
feelings?
yeah, I know a few people like that. But I feel like that comes with, what we was in and stuff, that nightlife
Right.
stuff and all.
Right. Yeah,
Depending on
nightlife
who
fake and
there,
phony.
people get to acting all weird and shit,
Right.
all different, and that's men and women. It's not just
That word weird has gone so far and so long because I feel like a lot of people are starting to fit that word. Before weird was just like somebody that's really like just off. That's really
Yeah.
like just now weird is just people just acting
people
funny.
just act weird.
You know what I'm saying? And I always say the same thing. I don't get it. But real is going out the door, and I ain't gonna lie, men and women. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these men stand on principles. They don't stand on principles no more.
Men are
They say they
women
stand
now,
on
shit.
principles, but I don't understand how. And honestly, men I look at so much more. I'm like, as being an older man, anybody over 30, I just think you should mentally be different. You know what I'm saying?
But they out here trying
You
to
shouldn't,
compete
you
with the
shouldn't,
20-year-olds,
yeah,
trying to
you
be
shouldn't
cool with them
compete. You
niggas.
shouldn't be worried about what someone else is really doing in their life, because as grown men, you should be doing your own thing and making sure that your family and whoever you're trying to provide for is taking care of it. It shouldn't matter about the next man. You know what I mean? I just don't. That word weird is definitely gone a lot in a long time because I've just seen so many weird vibes. You know what I mean? Like people just can't be real. Like you ask them to do something, to say I can't do it. People will just never call you back, never answer the phone, never say nothing, and you'll sit around and be like this. What's the purpose? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the purpose? If you can't do something, just say, hey, I can't do it. How are we grown people and we can't specifically tell somebody we can't do something?
And then try to hit you again like nothing never happened.
Yeah, smile and see you smile. Like, everything is cool. Like, I mean, it's cool 'cause I'm not tripping. But in the day around it, I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's just weird.
You know what I mean? As grown men, we can't even just say, hey, it's an issue.
I'm not gonna make that.
Yeah.
My
And
bad.
that's what always threw me off of people.
Nah, that's for sure. But I'll tell them though.
What?
I'm not one of the people that avoid people.
I mean, look, you don't even gotta tell details. Someone like I feel like if I'm doing any type of business with you and I can't make it, I'm gonna let you know I can't make it.
Right.
Yeah.
I might not have to go into details of why I can't make it. I'll tell you my whole personal business, but I'm gonna give you a heads up. I can't make it.
Right.
Out of respect, I don't know how anyone could call themselves a businessman or a business person and doesn't know how to do those minor things.
Because those same people that can't keep it real all times, the most important thing about being a real person is keeping it real within yourself. and those people can't even like keep it real with themselves. They're like, "Hey, bro, I'm sorry, I'm broke right now. I don't got." No one wants to. Those people don't want to say it out
And
loud.
people have other agendas. Let's just keep it
They have
real.
other agendas
People
as
have
well.
other agendas, and people are slighted by. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of men are slighted by women. You know what I mean? A lot of men do things for attention to get women. You know what I mean? And they will stow their man, their friend, their associate, their business partner, someone they can get money with underneath the bus just for opportunity to get with a woman. Unfortunately, that's men's downside. You know what I'm saying? Men, I don't get it. I feel like that any man at a certain age should have had enough sex in their life to not have to move off of sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm never going to make a decision off of sex.
Off sex.
Never that. Not at this age. You know what I'm saying? Never that. I'm never going to stop my money from coming in off of sex. That is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? But
It
I
don't
think a
even
lot of men do allow that to get to them.
it don't even be just them trying to impress women. A lot of times they're trying to impress other men. Their homeboys, like
That's
they
even worse.
that
That's
is
even worse.
That is worse. But
That's even
they
worse.
can't keep it real. Like they just want to impress their homeboys. That's why they
After, like I
be
said,
having
after
car
30
meets.
years old, you should not be trying to impress your homeboy.
Yeah, that's weird.
You should not be trying to impress your
Because
homeboy.
they don't
After
have
30
nothing
years
else
old, you should not
going
be
for
trying to
them.
impress your
Like
homeboy.
that's the only people that they be dogging these bitches out so badly that they don't have no more bitches to be there for them anymore. So they only have their homeboys. So those are the ones they gotta,
Man,
impress.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm so good off that. You know what I'm saying? But
It's
all I
weird.
say is that word weird, man, y'all need to stop being weird out here. Stop being weird because it's not right. You know, we too old to be weird. You know, let's just be real.
Weird as hell.
Yeah, definitely being weird. All right, one more. We're gonna let everybody go. It's getting a little chilly out here. This is my topic. Word for the day: complacent, complacent.
Do you know
Being
the word
complacent.
of the day?
Complacent or complacent?
Complacent. What do you feel about that? What do you feel about someone at a standstill? Someone who's not trying to move forward, not trying to progress. What do you feel like somebody doing the same thing, going in circles and circles and circles, but then complaining about it? What is your
I feel
outlook
like
on that?
me, the word complacement. I don't know. There's pros and cons to it. Like I want to say there's nothing wrong with it, but it can be. I just feel like it just people that are complacent with where they are in life, they're just comfortable. They're used to a
Very
routine.
comfortable.
They're used to who they laying next to at night, or they're just comfortable. And I feel like growing is making yourself uncomfortable in certain situations.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So in order to grow, like I feel like you can't really be complacent. But I don't think there's nothing wrong with being complacent in certain areas, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think complacement is you're satisfied where you at in
Where
life.
you
You
at,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Now, I think that's good if it stays that way. You're being satisfied throughout life. But I think sometimes what happens is that life comes with bumps in the road, and that's when that complacent and satisfied person then gets a wake up call, and then that's when the complacement is not really a good thing. You know what I mean? Because we could be complacent because we're happy because we're bringing in some money right now. But what happened if that money line snapped away from us? That complacement then put us in a bad situation where now we're trying to figure out how to figure it out. You know what I mean? And I just think that you could be complacent for a little bit of time. You know what I'm saying? But if you stay complacent, if you stay satisfied on what you just have, I think that you're never preparing for the worst situation. You know what I mean? I think if you don't want to be stressed out. If you good, you want to be able to enjoy that life. But I don't think you always need to know that back in your mind what happens if something happens to this situation. You know what I mean? And
And you
think-
don't strive for better. You don't,
yes, another thing.
you
You
don't try to
yeah, your mind. Your mind does need to, always want a little bit more. You know what I mean? I think some people want too much and they move too fast, but I think you should want a little bit more. You know what I mean? Because think about it, not wanting more in life is like you just giving up. It's kind of like you're just
Yeah, I don't know what that word complacent is. I know what it means, but I don't know what it is.
Right.
Like I've never had stability my whole life, so moving around, not having anything like grounded or anything, like
right.
it's unfamiliar to me and
Right.
it scares me for the most part. So, and I can't stand people who are okay with settling in life for the bare minimum
Right.
because I'm not a bare minimum woman. I want greatness.
Yeah, that's good.
And if I'm living in society, if I'm not living in a societal world where there's no money, there's nothing like, it's kind of like a paradise or
Right.
whatever, then that's the only time I'll be okay with that.
Yeah, yeah.
But I want the best of the best.
I always want more. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm scared to fail. I'm scared to have to start over again. You know what I mean? And when you only got you only got yourself to count on. You know what I mean? And some people have like multiple people in their families or whoever around them that they can rely on and stuff like that. But everybody doesn't have that. You know what I mean? So at some point you got to know that if you don't want to ever have to go to life and feel the pain of having to start over from scratch, you got to keep on working. Even when you get to the money, you got to keep on working for more money. But like I said, it's a balance though. You still want to enjoy life, but I think even that until you get to a certain age where look, I ain't got but 10 more years left. You know what I'm saying? You got to work. And I think it's better to work more when you're younger than older. You know what I mean? Because who wants to be sick? I feel bad when I see people, grandparents in like grocery stores or like CVS having to, I feel bad for them. Like, you should not have to work. I feel like
A lot of them don't. They do it because it helps them.
no, a lot of them live on restricted income,
Oh yeah,
meaning
yeah.
that they get Social Security. That's what they get, and who gets $10,000 a month for Social Security? That's like most people are getting probably maybe $3,000 a month for Social Security, if that. You know what I'm saying? So if someone that has a mortgage, a lot of these people mortgages house ain't already paid for. You know what I mean? You got probably grandkids you're probably helping out. You probably got kids you're helping out on. You know what I'm saying? These kids ain't doing nothing a lot of times. You gotta help to pay their rent sometimes. It's just sad to see grandparents are in there, moving slow, having to do the register, like staring their feet all day long. Let's think about that. 65 years old having to stay on your feet all day. You don't even want to do that now.
No, I don't.
Right. No one wants to do that now. I feel so bad for the older people that have to go through that. And unfortunately, it's because of life decisions. Not always life decisions. Some things you just hit with things you can't have no control over. You know what I mean? And that's why you got to be blessed, too. You got to have faith. And because you can do everything right and still lose. So I'm never going to say that people made ultimate mistakes in those situations, but
the grind do start.
yeah, I feel like if you grind hard as younger, when those other obstacles happen, you'll have piggyback plans and be able to overcome that. But
avenues to go
yeah.
to and shit.
So we're gonna go ahead and end it right now. This is a great up close and personal with Just John and the original Barbie. You know what I'm saying? Introduction. I got the first introduction to the world. You know what I'm saying? So reach out to them. Y'all want some relationship counseling, relationship questions, because they've been through it all. They can answer
It's
it all
not
for
free.
you.
But if I need to vent, then I won't charge you.
Right, because women love to vent, so we're not
No,
going.
we're not doing that.
Don't
no
say
more.
psych. Look,
We're not
I
venting no
said
more.
to the female last week. I said every time you say psych, that's just you trying to cover up what you just really said. I said that psych is out the door. All right, you know what I'm saying? All that psych does not mean nothing. That's like LOL after you say something slick.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't no
That's
psych.
all he said when we first started talking. That's all he was saying.
Man,
Like,
ain't no
shit, I
psych.
didn't even peep until later. Like, I thought you was just making a joke, but you were dead ass serious. You just do
Nah.
LOL at the end.
Ain't no LOL. LOL just means suck it up and take it. You know what I'm saying?
He's like,
Right. But
please don't keep that. I'm crazy.
But we're gonna let everybody go. Thank you again, Barbie and Just John, for pulling up to the up
Thank
close
you
and
for having
personal.
us.
Truth is real.
Sure. We need to double back, man. I ain't been
Yeah,
on
we're gonna
this-
double
this
back.
joint in a
Angel,
little
where you
minute.
at? Angel, where you at? Angel,
Right,
where you at? Angel. Angel, the body face. We'll talk to you later about this
Big three.
I'm
conversation.
gonna steal your job.
Right. Keep
I'm
on
gonna
playing.
be next to
Angel.
Vedo now. Stealing your seat.
But yeah, so till next time, Truth is Real podcast. Your host Vedo, and we out of here. Peace.